Welcome to the Popish Plot. I'm Nate.
I'm Jessica.
And I'm Mike.
And today we're here to talk about the Pope's new thing. Or Papa's got a brand new bag.
So, as of...
Which has nothing to do with bags.
No, it's actually the same old bag. It's,
On Memorial Day, Pope Leo introduced, and by that I mean he himself was there and introduced his first encyclical, Magnifica Humanitas, subtitled, On Safeguarding the Human Person in the Time of Artificial Intelligence.
Yes, and now the internet has exploded with, I did not have woke nerd Pope on my list for the year.
Well, a proud tradition has continued of non-Catholics completely misreading the Pope and trying to put him into whatever box they try to put into which they try to put everything.
I mean, he quoted Gandalf. I feel like he is a nerd.
I'm
nerd, absolutely.
And
we already knew that.
As a shape.
He's a canon lawyer, of course. He's a nerd.
I'm gonna have to fault you on that one though, Mike. While you are correct, and that there is generally a thing of non-Catholics trying to put the Pope into the box they want him to be in, so they can so that it then reflects their understanding or feelings about the Catholic Church. This is not really necessarily exclusive to non-Catholics.
Fair.
There are a large number of Catholics who do the exact same thing.
Absolutely.
Yes. There's also a large number who do not understand history because, although I was not expecting anything on AI to have an apology for the slow action and sometimes negative actions of the church as far as slavery, legally, depending on what state he is in, he might be technically, considered black in America because his family is, from Louisiana. There's Creole. There's a mixture in there.
Well, I mean, it's a good thing to do when you're talking about human dignity.
Yes.
Just to get out ahead of things.
You can't call human trafficking modern slavery and then just be like, something that we are not discussing here at all.
I'm also going to fault the Pope on the bit about the time of artificial intelligence. We're not there yet. I don't care what everybody else says. This is not artificial intelligence. It is artificial, but it is not intelligent.
Well, no, it's absolutely correct that there is no intelligence, and he points that out because it has no consciousness, it has no responsibility. But the broadly used term, the accepted term, whether I like it or not, and I dislike it, the broadly used term is artificial intelligence or AI. Or, to go back to the terrible Steven Spielberg movie, AI, artificial intelligence.
I understand.
Thank you.
Just
I blocked that from my memory, and now it's back.
You're welcome.
It's just I have a soapbox. I have an opportunity.
Sure.
I'm going to point out that is entirely wrong. That's not what this is. It's not what it does. It's we're giving it way more credit than it deserves, and in some cases more fear. But
totally with you. But
it's what they call it. I understand,
and I think it best that the Pope call it by what people know it as. Because if he spends the title
explaining
going
what he's
into
discussing,
large language models,
he's not going to be able to go and randomly throw the word cryptocurrency in a Popal writing that's not something I would expect.
Didn't have that on my bingo card. No,
I'm just saying we haven't developed an artificial intelligence. We've developed a machine that is basically a Google search bar that can now understand what you're saying when you say it.
No one is disputing this. But the broadly used term is artificial intelligence.
I know.
Yes.
I'm not.
Also, I liked how he name checked. I don't know. I mean, I didn't catch a John Paul the First in there, and I'm not sure he did Benedict, but from his namesake on, pretty much like every pope.
Well, again, Blessed John Paul I
was there for like a month.
He didn't publish anything as pope.
Yeah.
He had some writings as the Patriarch of Venice, but he didn't write anything as Pope. He was in office for 33 days.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving right along. We haven't read this.
Well, I have.
Well, she has.
I haven't.
I haven't. Well,
I mean, at the time of filming, it's been out for like 24 hours.
That's my shtick right there. I haven't read it.
If you read it and no one else did, we'd be like, What?
What are we doing? What's happening?
I mean, it's not the longest papal
It's
document, but
bizarro
it's not
plot.
the shortest.
It's
I don't-
bizarro plot.
I don't like reading things on long things on screens, so I'm going to wait until I can get a physical copy.
See, and
I know I could just print one, but I want a book.
And see, I would have liked to have a not just from their website copy, because I wanted to like highlight things, which you could do with either a physical copy or, you know, ones where it's, you know, your ebook.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I haven't read it because I'm waiting for a physical version. But
Which isn't out yet.
But our first initial reactions. Nate is against the title.
I'm against the title.
I'm in favor of the title because I like safeguarding the human person.
I'm all for that bet, and I'm not. I wasn't trying to dispute the way that he used that term. I
You're just
simply
pointing
had
out.
an opportunity
Absolutely.
to point out that this is an ineffective use
Absolutely.
of language.
I find that the roller coaster ride of different things that he touched on in this, makes me think that he was that student that teachers hated because, you know, he'd do the essay the day before, it fit all the criteria, but he would just be, you know, he was throwing in, you know, stuff left and right, and I'm like, all right, and now I'm continuing this and zigzagging in another way, and so much stuff about labor unions. He really likes his namesake.
Well, and he doesn't want... This is what's great about Pope Leo. He really wants to be the Catholic Pope. He brings in everything.
Yes, he had sections on the, you know, the problems that this causes in the global south because they're using their, you know, their labor and, you know.
And, you know, the minerals that have to be used to go into the high technology that is used in the rapidly depopulating global north. You know, these are all very important things, especially given how much of the church is in the global south. You know, we here in the global north think of ourselves as the whole thing, but we're not. You know, we have the money, but we don't have the people. I know a lot of people were nerding out about the fact that there's a Tolkien reference in
Yes,
Magnifica Humanitas.
We had a friend who we saw on yesterday from filming this, which was the day it came out, where she insisted it was because, you know, everyone knows that Tolkien was a Catholic, and that's why I'm like, no, he can quote whoever he wants. It's not a rule. He just likes Tolkien.
Because how can
You Catholics quote C.S. Lewis all the time.
Because
I mean-
all you
Anglican.
all you people who don't like Tolkien, there's something wrong with you. Sorry, that's my hot take right
Hey,
there.
You gotta have
How
standards.
can you not like Tolkien?
I feel he desperately needed an editor.
Yes.
My hot take is The Hobbit is better than The Lord of the Rings
Also,
as a book.
he
No,
is
no
correct
argument.
that he can spell dwarves any way he wants to because he's the one in charge of that part of the dictionary.
Yep.
But it seems a little weird to insist that this is the way you do it for the English language, but I'm going to do it this a different way. Because I want to.
Because I can. That power of being the creator. I appreciate very much two things. One, and to the best of my knowledge, this is historically unprecedented. Pope Leo was there at the press conference introducing his encyclical. You know, normally it was signed on May 15th, the anniversary of Pope Leo XIII's Rerum Novarum, but publicly released on May 25th. Normally that's done and the Pope is somewhere, and some Curia officials will come out and they'll say, this is what the Pope's all about. Here's the man himself saying, this is what I wrote and why I wrote it. I like that. I also appreciate the fact that he had the CEO from Anthropic, the LLM company,
Yes.
there, you know, to deliver some remarks and, you know, as part of an ongoing dialogue. I find this greatly encouraging because
For like the first, it wasn't the first paragraph, but the first couple ones, he's just going on and on about, you know, how essentially we shouldn't let this tech be in the hands of a few rich companies and stuff.
well, nothing that should have, you know, he compared it a lot to nuclear energy. Nothing that has the potential to utterly remake society should be in the hands of just a few. Because if it affects all of us should have a say. But mostly, there is a great temptation, and sometimes it is right, for Christians to retreat from the world. There is a time and a place when that is the absolute right reaction. But for most of us, we're going to have to continue to live in the world. Not of the world, but in the world. And that means we need to dialogue even with the people that we may regard as our enemies. The rich guys that control the AI. Because if you're going to try to redirect the way this thing is going to be treated, well, you've got to go to those guys because they're the ones who are actively inventing it. So I was buoyed to see the Pope there, engaging in that kind of dialogue with, what's his name? Ole, the guy from Anthropic.
I don't know what their names are.
His name really should be Claude. Come on. If you're not naming these things after yourself, what are you doing?
Naming them after traditional butler names?
That's Jeeves.
Yes.
And it was taken 25 years ago, 30 years ago.
I know. It would be useful now.
Seriously.
Except for, of course, whenever the AI turns on, I tell it to, shut up and go away. But
So,
anyway,
other thoughts?
I think that covers the main thoughts.
For all of you who are disappointed that the Pope did not go full Luddite and call for a Butlerian jihad against AI, calm down. That was never going to happen. Again, if you want to be Catholic Amish, God, good on you.
Well,
I mean,
As far as the simplicity of lifestyle, not the whack theology.
I'm just saying. I
buttons are evil is a hot take.
Considering any technology, is this good for the community?
As opposed
to let's adopt first and then figure out the consequences.
I'm just saying. As I said before we started filming, I agree with you on that was never going to happen. But I'm going to take it a step further, and I'm going to suggest that they shouldn't be wishing for that necessarily.
I agree.
We need to be finding the middle path. And the middle path is neither we have to do it. We have to do all the AI stuff, but it's also not. We need to get rid of all the AI stuff
Because it has useful purposes. Not on your phone, but say in a doctor's, lab where it's been known to find cancers like 1 to 2 years quicker than a human can on the scan. By being like, you should look at that spot more. Or one of those really weird ones of the, I forgot what it was, but there's a few ones where it's like they were trying to do this thing and it fixed this completely unrelated thing somehow.
Well, and lots of the tech people swim very much in the waters of the new atheism, that there is nothing but material existence, and they have a completely whack anthropology. They don't understand what the human person is, but some of the spooky things that go on with higher level AI at least has them thinking of, well, maybe there is a spiritual reality to which we've been ignorant before, and that could lead some of them to Christ. So we should pray for that.
Yes.
We should pray for all people to come to know Christ. I'm not an early adopter, so I'm not someone who uses AI, but we can't simply reject technology as it comes along. Just like lots of bad things are on the internet. But we here at the Popish Plot are trying to use it to bring souls to Christ.
Yes.
Or to encourage in their journey those who already know Christ. Same thing with AI.
Let them learn about a new weird saint.
Absolutely. Let them know about the astonishing.
So, on that note, go down below into the comment section and tell us what you think of the Pope's new writing, if you've read it. If you haven't read it, go read it, and then go and tell us what you think of it.
If I am wrong, and he does quote Benedict, what paragraph is it? Because he was going a lot of, all sorts of, popes, so...
Remember, if what you have to say is more than like a short paragraph, that's a tirade. We don't really want those in the comment sections, but you can totally go and email them to us. We probably won't ever mention it on film because it will be something that is just so toxic that we just kind of have to...
But send us your novels.
Because we love reading them and laughing. And then reading them again. And laughing some more.
Or, reading an AI summary of it and then laughing.
Yes. Ooh, that'd be even better.
So, give this episode a like. Subscribe to our channel to be notified the next time technology has overtaken our channel and we're all max headroom. It'll be great. That'd be great.
Also,
Popish plot.
Also, let us know if you are waiting, if you have been patiently waiting for the day of the Bizzaro plot, wherein we have a piece of writing that only I have read. And while you're down there, hit the like button, the subscribe, the bell, all the good things. And remember, until next time, to live your faith.
Love your faith.
And
Share that love.